You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
What's up, everybody? This is Peter Schrager from Good Morning Football and The Season with Peter Schrager. And guess what? It's football season. And you can now get almost anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, can't get a running back delivered, but you can get baby back ribs delivered. Strong defense? Like, no. But a strong deodorant? Yes. A six-pack of abs? That's absolutely not. No. But a six-pack of beer? Uber Eats can get you that. There you have it. Get almost anything for game day delivered with Uber Eats. It's the official on-demand delivery partner for the NFL. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See that app for details.
The block from Isaiah, just from your vantage point, how it all kind of came through?
Yeah. The same sentiment as everybody in the building. Fired up to see our players make plays. It was really cool to see Isaiah Simmons, number one, understand what his responsibility was on that play, and throughout the week just in my ear about, like, hey, I'm going to get this thing if you call it. I said, I'm not afraid to call it, man. I have faith in him. And he kept showing up every practice and got a good amount of reps. And, when his number was called, he was ready. And it was so cool to see him have that success. He basically manifested that play in his mind. And he was able to execute. And it was really cool to see the rest of the group, carry out their responsibilities, because it does take all 11 for you to have success on any play. And it was, again, I always talk about the power of positivity with our guys, and just to see the authentic celebration and enjoyment with one another. Obviously, it was a big-time play in the game, but to see them celebrate one another's success, it just speaks volumes about our team.
Dave said he was wanting to maybe call it earlier, and you kept calling him off of it and saying, let's wait. What was the dynamic with that?
Yeah, so with every game, we have a lot of discussions. Dave's understands what our game plan is on every unit. And I think as a coordinator, it's my responsibility to communicate to the head coach throughout the game. And, it's awesome because Dave's is very well versed with our game plan. So he understands what we're trying to get accomplished. And he doesn't force us to make calls, we just have discussions. And I think that's why, we have a healthy and great relationship. Because he brings up a lot of good points throughout the week and during game day, and no different than myself. So it was just good communication.
What was the dynamic of waiting till that moment instead of maybe using it earlier?
There's certain strategy elements with down and distance, time in game, dependent on hash. There's just with any call, you want to make sure that you're giving your guys the most opportune look to run it. I think, you never want to just be so stubborn that you're going to call it just to call it. You want to make sure that, when the opportunity presents itself, like we talked about during the week, that, we call it and then our players execute it.
There's a chance you don't get the chance to call it there, right, at the end. So it just kind of goes away, right? Or
no question, yeah. But that's any game. Like that throughout the game, like you have your list of plays and not everything is called, on every unit. You just want to make certain that you're ready for it when that time comes, and it happened to time up very well for our guys to take advantage of that play.
How'd you come up with the idea of the play? Like, is it something you've come across in other places you've been? Is it something you worked on here? Like,
it's. It roots back, honestly, from my days at UCLA, and I've kind of carried something similar every spot I've been in. But the one thing, when you just look across the league, I'm not the first person to run it, right. And I think there's a lot of good ideas out there, which is, we're always studying trends of the league and certain things that come up, whether it's this year, whether it's last year and the last 5 years. But that happens to be something that, I have ran in the past.
You used that against the Giants when you were with the Jets last year, pretty much, right? Was this similar?
There was something similar that was used, definitely.
Can you take us through
on that play, you mentioned how it takes all 11. Is part of that McLeod and Bryce not getting in the way, being there for when the ball is free? Is that discussed? Was that part of the the game? Because it really looked like, they were in the perfect spot, but they weren't rushing the punter as well. And it just seemed like it was, Isaiah and you guys do your role outside. Is that fair to say?
It is fair. Yeah, you have to allocate certain responsibility for everybody on that play to where it all gels together. That's my job as a coordinator. Sending an all-out block where all 11 go, guys are going to end up picking each other and getting in the way of each other. So I think people, when I install a play, whether it's on punt return, field goal block, it doesn't matter. Guys got to understand where they fit in the general scheme and why we're doing it. And that was something I explained throughout the week of, with Nick and BFW just being ready for that opportunity. When we did block it, what was going to happen. Again, a credit to all 11 guys. Execute their assignment. They were in position to have success on that day.
Is that one of those things where you've used it, and could you use it again this year again, or is it or is that expected now from opposition?
You always got to be ready to have a menu. Every game we go in, and we have certain plays on every unit. And when the opportunity presents itself, I think our guys will be ready to run it. So it doesn't matter whether it's ran once or 10 times, and other teams do it. If the opportunity presents itself, we'll move forward with that. So
that's not necessarily like a one-time bullet, so to speak.
I don't think anything is ever off the table, but I think you just got to be very mindful of when you call things.
One of the things
just a quick follow-up. When did you realize Isaiah was right for that role, in that position, that spot? What was that? Training camp? Was that something as the weeks went on in the season?
Yeah, just studying Isaiah before he even got here, and knowing what his physical capability, he is an unbelievable athlete, and he has really good size as well. So you combine the two and you see a guy that can jump out of the gym, a guy that understands defensive fundamentals of getting off the ball. So just, when you look at a roster, and Zay has contributed on our other units, and I was like, okay, this is a perfect opportunity for him. And to Zay's credit, whatever I've asked of him, he has shown up with a smile on his face and tried to do it to the best of his ability. And it's again, so cool to see him put in the work to be able to execute that.
Obviously, you communicate with Daves all the time. Can you take us through the inner workings of when you took it to him last week and his reaction and whatnot?
Yeah. Throughout obviously, like I said, he understands what our game plan is, so it starts there. And then we go into the game, I'm talking to my guys, we're having conversations with Daves. I'm seeing what the opponent is doing to us. So there's a lot of, general things that you're looking for. And then whether it's that play or any other play, you're looking at, okay, this is off the table, this is on the table. Okay, there's potential that this could be called. And then in my mind, you're always looking at score differential. You're looking at down and distance. So all those situations are coming up. So it's ongoing discussions. I know I keep saying that, but there really is.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I meant more during the week, that particular look that you saw and the drawing up of the play for Isaiah and your conversation with Dave when you brought it to him.
Yeah. So when he walked to my office at the beginning of the week and said, "What do we have up this week?" That was one of those things that I was like, okay, there's an opportunity for this to be present. Showed him a few clips of it, and he was like, okay, let's do it. It was pretty simple and awesome with Dave's. Just he lets us run with things. And I think with anything you present to anyone, you want to have evidence. I don't think you ever just want to call a call just to call it. So again, with all our game plan, we're always showing them why we want to do things, and that's the same with the players, especially players nowadays. You got to show them the why. But I will say this, what an awesome play, and so well executed by our guys. But very quickly, I've told our guys that we're in a week-to-week league, right? And you have to show up this week now. It's no different. We got tremendous respect for Cincinnati, and Darren has done a hell of a job for years. And we got a good challenge ahead of us to be able to go out and execute.
We'll take two more.
One thing that came up was Lincoln Tomlinson. He didn't appreciate I guess he didn't like the tactic of keeping the guards or the guys around him down. How much of that do you discuss beforehand? Is that just sort of like, hey, this is the rule, we're gonna play it by the rule, and that's not illegal in this case?
Yeah, not to discredit your question again, in my mind, we do have to move on to Cincinnati, and it's not to say that I don't want to answer your question with that. You know, we always coach our guys to make certain that they understand the rules and how to execute those rules with that play, with any play. And, you know, I think our guys were very well versed on what they can and cannot do, and they were able to execute. But with that being said, like, we're going to be presented with other situations throughout the season that's, again, my job to tell our guys, hey, this is the strength of this is the weakness of this is how a ref could potentially call this. You got to put yourself in this position. It could be something as simple as a block in the back, you know, so like whether it's that play, whether it's another play, our guys got to understand, you know, what the refs are looking at, and then it's my job also to show them the trends of the week, to be like, okay, this was called. Why? Put yourself in this play call. Why was this called? And I think that's ultimately how you make any scheme come to life, is there is a real understanding of the NFL rules and how you can take advantage of it.
Like, this is just a more general question about Dave's, and you guys faced early adversity, obviously, in that game in general, obviously with the return and whatnot. As an assistant coach, what did you learn from, or what have you learned, and what you learned from about the way Dave's handles adversity, stays the even keel, or, you know, however you want to use it? Just what's that dynamic of him that becomes a strength?
He has been awesome. He's such a tremendous leader for our team, and tremendous leader for coaches too. You know, he empowers you as a coach. He empowers myself. You know, I think we have a great staff that, you know, speaks the same language, and we believe in common things. So whether there be good things, whether there be bad things that happen in a game, there's always healthy discussions, because ultimately Dave's is a competitor. I'm a competitor. We have a team full of competitors. And I'm talking true competitors, you know, that aren't motivated by external factors, that want to truly be the best versions of themselves, including myself. And I think Dave's knows that of me, and I know that of Dave's, and I think our staff knows that of each other, and our team knows that of each other, because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. So, you know, our relationship has been awesome, because the type of leader he is, you know, and he's giving you feedback throughout, whether the game, the week, and he's been around this league for a long time. So, you know, tremendous respect for him and love for him, for the opportunity, and, you know, look forward to many more good moments.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food, no matter what you're craving. From 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings. Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week all season long. Uber Eats, the official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now for game day. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.